I had a hard time in college. I didn't get any scholarships, and I wasn't rich like a lot of my classmates. I had to work 2 jobs in addition to all my classes. Most of my professors were pretty great, though. They knew my situation and gave me extensions when I needed them. Plus, they weren't too upset if I dozed off in class after working all night. The only person I had an issue with was my history teacher, Professor Williams. Because it was a small college, there wasn't a lot of teachers to choose from. I had to take 4 of his classes, and each time he treated me like dirt. He graded my papers more harshly than anyone else's. He chose to call on me whenever he knew I didn't know the answer. Instead of calling me by my name, he just called me Hillbilly for 4 freaking years. When I confronted him between classes sophomore year, he straight up told me that he was harder on me because he wanted me to excel. He wanted to push me to my limits. I knew that was BS. The real reason was that he was an elitist. He saw me as the poor kid who wasn't supposed to be there, and he wanted to push me until I dropped out. I'd seen him do it to a few other low-income students at the school. There was this one guy in my dorm, Terry something, great guy, full of enthusiasm. He wanted to become a doctor. First semester he was happy, acing all of his classes. Then he had Professor Williams, and he lost all motivation. He gave up on his dreams of becoming a doctor and dropped out at the end of the school year. Well, I didn't let that happen to me. I stuck it out and graduated with reasonably good grades. Never let Professor Williams strip me of my confidence. And now, 2 years after graduating, I owned my own company with a staff of 12. I was making way more than Professor Williams ever had. I decided to track him down. I went back to my university to receive an award for the Alumni Association. It was an amazing moment, and all my former professors were there to congratulate me. Professor Williams was the only one who didn't bother to show up. I figured he didn't want to admit that he was wrong about me. I know this sounds petty, but I needed to talk to him face to face, to show him my award, see his expression, and to finally get over all of the trauma. I got his address from another professor who was glad to help. She said he was at home drinking by himself. That's what he did most nights. So I got in my car, feeling pretty good about myself, and then drove to the address. He lived in a part of town that I didn't really know, so I followed my GPS. I got to a winding road with no lights. Everything was dark, and I had my high beams on because there was no other cars in sight.